Hello brothers and sisters, today I want to show you a special video in which I will finally reveal the secret of the 12 figurines sitting next to the Virgo. It took me 5 years to get to the bottom of the truth, and the truth is shocking. Today I have to blow your head and change your worldview. Take your time to turn on your skepticism and just watch this video from start to finish. So let's begin. Those who watched my videos earlier know that the basis for solving the iPad God is astronomy and the method of visual analogy. That is why we are shown at the beginning Bush standing on a checkerboard floor on a star made of light and wearing an astrologer's cap. Also you can see another clue in this frame: snowflakes, which aren't actually snowflakes but a reference to the stars. You also already know that the pictures on the wall and on the blackboard behind the bush are constellations. I'm going to show you now 9 pictures from my old video where everything about this is shown, and you don't even need to comment on anything. Look at them and I will continue this logical connection further. So it was possible to figure out the meaning of the pictures behind bush a long time ago, but the pictures behind the Virgo remained, and with this task I could not cope. There were only a few guesses, but I was so close to the solution. Naturally, I thought since the pictures behind bush are constellations, then the pictures behind Virgo are also constellations. I checked, but there are no such constellations. Well, except for the hair. And that's it. I stopped for years in this riddle. Yes, there are no such constellations. But there was. Here is the key to the secret. It turns out that there is a whole list of the constellations that were cancelled in the past, and today they do not exist. But the stars themselves have not disappeared. They were either given other names or assigned to other constellations. That is, during the development of astrology, various constellations appeared, disappeared, divided into parts, and changed names. But the solution all this time was so close. Let me show you these pictures and the constellations that correspond to them. There is nothing to even comment on here. Please note that Cerberus was depicted in different mythologies in different ways. For example, in Greek mythology, he was depicted as a three-headed dog, and in other cases, the heads were dragon or snake, which we see in the picture from the iPad God. But the main thing is that Cerberus was the dog of Hades, who was the god of the underworld of the dead and helped him guard the exit from the kingdom of the dead. He did not allow the dead to return to the world of the living and the living to the world of the dead. And it is this exit, the guarded Cerberus, that we see in this picture. Perhaps some of you doubt the veracity of such a decoding of the pictures. For those of you, I'll give you a very good example of how they use exactly the same trick with cancelled constellations otherwise. Here is a frame from the trailer for the new episode of the Hunger Games. We see the eclipse symbol, and we already know from my past videos that we are talking about the eclipse in Virgo, October 25, 2022. And next to the eclipse, Virgo should have been depicted, like in this case, or this, or this, or this, or this. But there is no girl. Instead of her, a bird and a snake. Why? Everything is simple. It's the same trick again with cancelled constellations. Look, the constellation Hydra exists today, and earlier it was called Water Serpent. Next, at the end of the snake's tail, we see the constellation Owl. This constellation does not exist today. But what was it called even earlier, before the Owl? Mockingbird, or in modern terms, a songbird. This constellation also does not exist today. That is, when we are shown this picture with a solar eclipse, as well as with a mockingbird and a snake, we are simply shown this section of the starry sky, where there are no longer any constellations as before, but here the borders of three constellations connect: Libra, Virgo and Hydra. And it is through this area that the solar eclipse of October 25, 2022, which we today attribute to Virgo, will pass. If you still doubt, I will give you one more proof. Before the constellation of the Owl and the Mockingbird, there was also the constellation of the Toad, and that is why we can see such a frame in Katy Perry's video. So, we figured out the pictures behind the back of the Virgo, but that was just a warm-up. Let's move on to the most important thing, to the mystery of the figurines. Back in 2017, YouTube user J.K. Bugout realized that we were been shown the year 2017, the birth of Jupiter in the constellation of Virgo, the Great American Eclipse in August, Trump's rise to power. And that's it. This is where everything stopped. Not Jacob Bogout, not other researchers could not advance further, including myself. But we were so close to the solution. There was only one step left to take. Now that I have managed to find out the mystery of the figurines, I can say with confidence that no one would have been able to solve this mystery until the beginning of 2018. Do you know why? Ready? Because in 2012, in this scene of the iPad God, we were shown in all details the events and people in the USA from 2017. Did you understand what I just said? In 2012, we were shown with impeccable accuracy the future of the United States in 2017. Brain explosion. Now watch and take your time with your skepticism. Your head will boil. So, the first figure. Trump becomes the President of the United States. Next, immediately on the 5th day of his presidential term, he signs a decree on the construction of a wall on the border with Mexico. This puddle under the figure is a reference to the Gulf of Mexico. Moreover, the Trump wall was shown in advance in this music video. The wall consists of iron structures and the barbed wire. The wire was also shown to us. Next, Harvey Weinstein. Due to a remarkable sex scandal that has thundered all over the world, he loses everything: his career, his job, wife, money, fame, and later, as we already know, freedom. Here is his figurine. Next, the birth of the famous singer Beyoncé. Anyone who has watched my videos knows how important she is in portraying these secret messages. Therefore, they couldn't not fail to mark this event in the form of one of the figures. There it is. Next, accident at the Oroville Dam. Nothing to even comment on. Next, Hurricane Harvey and its devastating aftermath. Here it is. Next, publication of secret documents in the Kennedy assassination case. Here is the Kennedy figurine with a piece of the skull missing. Next, Saipov attack in New York. During the arrest, he was shot in the stomach by the police. Here is his figurine. Next, mass shooting at a church in Texas. The killer tried to escape by a car. He was wounded, pulled off the highway, and committed suicide while driving. Here is his figurine. Notice how he leans forward with his chin on his hands on the steering wheel. Next, shooting and massacre at a music festival in Las Vegas. The killer committed suicide by shooting himself in the head with a pistol. Here is his figurine. Next, see how these two figures form a void between themselves of a certain shape. These are the outlines of the state of Israel without the Golan Heights. Why are we shown this? Because Trump recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, despite the fact that several religions claim this city at once. It was a very loud and scandalous event. Next, Chris Cornell, or Cornell, I don't know, musician, singer, lead singer of a rock band, hanged himself. He had a close friend, Chester Bennington, also a musician, singer, lead singer of the rock band Linkin Park. He also hung himself 2 months after Chris Cornell's death, right on his birthday. Here are the figures of these two friends. Note how their heads are tilted, as well as how lifelessly the arm of the right figure hangs. The right Chris figurine is marked with an eclipse symbol. Now I will explain why it is Chris and why he is so marked. Here is a frame from the video in which he participates. Look at what he sings. You don't even need to explain anything, given his ending. Next, the song itself is called Black Hole Sun. Just read what he sings. This is exactly what I warned you about in my videos. What is a black hole sun? This is the sun during an eclipse. The moon looks like a black hole against the background of the sun. Here is an example of the same image of the eclipse from the new trailer for the movie Mission Impossible. So that there is no doubt at all that the sun is about a solar eclipse. These t-shirts are released for fans. More information on why the Chris figurine is marked with an eclipse symbol. Here is the cover of the album of his band already in 1991. Everything is obvious here. A reference to the all-seeing eye in the pyramid. Instead of an eye, there is a spark plug, which gives us an indication of a spark that is a light bearer or Lucifer. Also a reference to the black sun symbol. When is the sun black? At the time of the solar eclipse. Here are some clues as to who is behind it all. For the group's 35th anniversary, they released this logo. In addition to the solar eclipse, the pyramid and the all-seeing eye, we see how the number 35 is drawn in such a way as to make a reference to the sign of Saturn. This is the crescent of Saturn, or Chronos, the god of time. Let's go back to the Black Hole Sun music video. After we have been shown American society throughout the video in caricature forms, we are shown at the end how the black hole of the Sun pulls it completely into itself. This is a direct indication of destruction during a solar eclipse. What kind of eclipse? We already know that it is the eclipse in Virgo. Here we are shown it again. A similar technique was used in Katy Perry's video. Let's go back. And here is what they show us 2 years before the iPad got. The same information conveyed using the same characters. Another eclipse in Virgo, October 25, 2022, when Venus will be closest to the Sun and Moon for our observation point from Earth. Moreover, they show the burning doll of the Virgo, so that is clear that we are talking about a solar eclipse in it and a destructive volcanic eruption that will occur next to this eclipse. Next. Now for Chester Bennington. Here is a frame from his video. Look at the year and the title. And here is a frame from iPad God. Again from the music video. Again from the iPad God. See how cleverly they hit his horns on his chin. Another frame from the music video. We see an eclipse symbol with secret writings and a cave. What is this cave? Here is a frame from the iPad God, where this cave actually symbolizes the female genital organ through which birth will occur. Here is the birth process itself in the music video and in iPad God. We already know that in this way they showed the birth of horned Mercury from the constellation of Virgo at the time of the eclipse of October 25, 2022. This also symbolizes the coming of the Antichrist into this world, who will pretend to be a savior. Where in this music video was this cave, this female genital organ? Well, of course, in the Virgo, whose statue we can see. So that there is no doubt that they show exactly the constellation of Virgo. They also show a whale swimming through the air, through the sky, and not through the water. Of course, this is an indication of the constellation of the whale. Also, the Virgo is depicted as some kind of goddess. In any case, I thought so. If you have a version of which goddess, write in the comments. On the head of the Virgo is such a statue, some kind of human locust hybrid. Most likely this is a reference to the biblical locust from the Apocalypse. I outlined my interpretation of the biblical locust in my very first video on this channel. Well, that's all, brothers and sisters. This is the end of the world we live in, the world we knew. There are 4.5 months left before the start of the apocalypse. As you can see, this is inevitable. These are not predictions. As I told you before, this is a story about the past. For us, this is still the future, but for those who reported all this information, this is the past. For them it is all over. Time travel, at least information, is a reality. And most likely, for matter, it is also possible. My videos are direct proof of this. Below in the description of the video I have placed links to all the videos that you need to watch in order to familiarize yourself with my theory. Further, it all depends on you, what you will do. I have fulfilled my mission. It is done. You have been warned. God save you all.